Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a review of an online language learning software. I was asked to do this review. I think it's by someone from the company, but I'm not 100% sure. But they're not paying me, I'm not affiliated with them, so this is just my own opinion that I thought you might like to hear, because I've already done reviews of Duolingo and a thorough review of Babbel. I do have a kind of language learning French series. I'll link them all below so you can find them. And so I thought it would be fun just to give my opinion of this product. I've been having a play around with it all morning, so I feel like I'm quite familiar with it now. I will show you a little bit of what the lessons look like, but this video will mostly just be a very quick kind of feeling of my opinion of this product. So this product, you do have to pay for it, although there is a free trial. It is more expensive than Babbel. So the main thing I've been looking at when I've been reviewing this is, what is the argument for buying this program over buying Babbel, for example, where there's numerous lessons, there's everything is native speakers, and there's opportunity for it to assess actually your speaking through that kind of digitalized thing, and there's a whole memorization thing built into that to help you remember the vocabulary you learn with Babbel. So what I've been mainly looking at is, why would you pay more for this over a program such as Babbel, which I'm clearly loyal to. I learnt everything that I know in French, I pretty much learnt on Babbel. So I'll show you this website. They do seem to be primarily doing English courses. There's a lot of courses for English here, and there is a mobile app which does seem to be a bit more like the kind of Duolingo type thing with the different categories. But it is only Android, and I don't have an Android, so I've had to do the online thing. One of my kind of main peeves about this program is that whenever you go onto the courses page, it always selects English, and you have to always click French, and sometimes you forget and you open a course and you're like, why is it in English? I already speak English. So always click onto French. For French, there are 9 courses available that go from beginner to kind of intermediate-ish. As you can see, I've had to go over a couple of them just to see what it's like. The main thing that I think I've found from this program is, unlike Babbel, I don't think you can use this on its own. I don't think that you can be a complete beginner to French and use this program to learn French. I think this is more to practice what you're learning at school, or what you're learning with another program, or to remind yourself of things that you've learned in the past, or just to jog your memory. I don't think you can really use this to learn new things. The reason why I say this is there's not a lot of instruction. The kind of lessons are set in this kind of game style, with the different stars that you get, different levels that you have to unlock, but there isn't much instruction. It's a very kind of intuitive thing. There also doesn't seem to be any translation anywhere, which isn't so much of an issue when you're learning numbers and you kind of listen and then select and then submit. But a bit later on, there's kind of longer sentences, there's questions, there's complicated grammar, and there's no English translation. So with the numbers, I found that it teaches you like 2 numbers, and then it teaches you like 2 animals. So it'll be like there are 7 tigers or whatever. And so we'll just, I have noticed that with the audio, this is obviously a computerized voice, very similar to Duolingo. It's not absolutely awful, but it isn't how natives speak. So you do need to be supplementing with another kind of, watching TV programs, watching news or whatever. But some of so this is testing your listening, so that's good, just checking you understand. And the cartoons are very child friendly, and I do think this program's pretty good for children, and I'll show you in a minute why I think that. So here it's not told you that it's birds, but you have to look at the picture to know, oh, oiseau is bird. And this is a bit like Rosetta Stone in that way, in that it's a bit more using your brain to figure out what it means, which is good and bad. So that's the two animals that it teaches you. Now, for example, this is the bit where I'm going to say why it's good for children. Because if I'm just learning French, I now have to sit here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 birds. 9. Now, in answering that question, where is the French? Other than oiseau, but really it's not really testing French. So this is why I think it could be pretty good if you're trying to teach your kid French, then they get a bit of maths in with it, so they're kind of practicing everything. But for me, it's a bit like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10 fish. But yeah, I'm not going to complete that. When you finish all the things, it comes up with like a goldfish, and it's like, yay, 3 stars. But I find that it's not as addictive, for example, as Duolingo, because the software is just slightly slow, and you do each time have to click submit or click enter, or each time you have to click for the audio. It doesn't automatically play. It's a bit more laggy. You can't get through it really quickly like you would a game. So I don't think it's that addictive. So you need to be self-motivated to use it. So when you click back courses, remember to click onto French because it automatically sets it to English. I'm just going to show you now. This is what it calls speaking. Now, I've had a good look at this lesson because I really tried to figure out. I thought I was doing something wrong again because there's no instruction. Unlike, I think Duolingo does actually test your voice. Unlike Duolingo, unlike Babbel, which definitely listens to your voice, and unlike Rosetta Stone, which records and analyzes your voice and your voice waves and all sorts, this has speaking, but the speaking is you are repeating after a tape. So you play the tape and she says, je suis bon en danse, okay, and then you repeat. Sometimes it's a little bit too quick, so you can't quite keep up. And there is no translation for this, so you don't know what you're saying. It's not being recorded, so you don't really know how well you're doing. So, je suis bon en danse. Je suis bon en danse. Je suis bon à taper à l'ordinateur. Je suis bon à taper à l'ordinateur. Okay, so you get the idea. And then to go on, you have to click submit. It looks to me like you can't click submit because it's got like that whitewash over it, but you actually can. And you just have this opportunity to report an issue for this question, which is a really good feature. That's a good feature. Each time on all of the lessons, it's kind of like a multiple. Well, not all of it is multiple choice. Sometimes there is the opportunity to type in an answer, which I really like. But when it's multiple choice, it's only between 2, and so it's not always that difficult. But this is called practice your speaking, okay? But all of this lesson, je suis bon en danse, as far as I can tell, is listening. Je suis bon à taper à l'ordinateur. Okay. But je suis bonne aux échecs. You are listening and you're clicking which one, but how do you know what it means? There's no translation. So I would really, unless there is a translation, I can't figure out if there's a translation. I don't think there is, or at least it's not clear enough if there is. So let's go back to courses. I'll just quickly show you another one. Grammar. Grammar is one of the things I didn't really like. I'm not really good at. There is a placement test for this, which I like because it means you can skip the things you already know. But the problem for me is that I took the placement test, and when I was taking it, I made a couple of like silly mistakes. And on one of them, I was just seeing what happened when you got it wrong. I was testing what happens, does a red X come up, or what happens. But once you've taken the placement test, you cannot take it again. So now I am locked in a lower level, which I'm not so happy about because this is locked. So grammar. What will I say about this? It doesn't feel like grammar, so that's quite nice. It's all done with these pictures. Again, there's no translations. But again, you would have to know this, because how would you know? Okay.
Il est un garçon.
Il est un garçon. Okay. So I mean, it's not hardcore grammar. You're not there with a grammar table typing in stuff. So if you don't respond well to that, this is quite nice. Again, there's pictures. It's probably good for children.
Elle est une danseuse.
Okay. Okay. Oh no! I always click it too quickly for the program. And I really wish that this really played automatically, because I always always forget to press the thingy.
Elle est une fille.
Elle est une fille. Okay.
Il est un garçon.
So it's quite. You can't pick up the speed enough to get addicted to it.
Elle est une danseuse.
Yay! So I think we'll probably stop there. So, in kind of conclusion, I think this could be good to support if you're already having French lessons, just to do some practice at home. It could be good, as I said, for children. There's a lot of like nice cartoons. It is quite slow paced. It's not too quick, so a child could keep up with it. Like, I do think this is probably good for children. I don't think that you could learn primarily just from this program, but I'm not sure that it's designed for that. You will need to have some speaking practice with a French teacher, because this will not test your speaking, and speaking is a big part of learning the language. And yes, there's no real way to review what you've learned, unlike Duolingo, where it's making you go over lessons. Babbel's got its Babbel review. You will have to decide for yourself when you want to redo lessons. A placement test. I don't know. The instruction is not always that clear. There's no translation. It seems to be like maybe this is like a work in progress. I would be interested to see what the mobile app looks like. Maybe the mobile app, it looks pretty good. So yes, I suppose that's my review. I do think if you want to use an online program and you are happy to pay for something, I stand by Babbel. I think Babbel is a fantastic program. But if you're having French lessons and you don't really like the Babbel software, or you don't respond well because Babbel's not as much like a game, then yes, have a go at the trial. The trial doesn't cause any harm. You don't have to pay for it. There do seem to be a lot of levels. It does seem to cover a lot of areas. It does seem to cover a lot of levels of capability. And so yes, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you would like me to review any other software, do leave a link below. I will have a go. And if you have a go at this program, do leave below how you found it, and if I've made any stupid mistakes and I've not understood how it works, also tell me below, and I'll make a new review and praise it. Okay, so hope you enjoyed this video. Goodbye.